Good morning, students. This is my lecture number 3, subject physical education, class 12, chapter number 3, yoga and lifestyle. And the answers of questions from lecture number 2, homework will be discussed in this lecture. So, we are going to start with asana number 3, which is Pavan Mukt Asana, as we have already done the first two asanas in lecture number 2. So, the procedure is lie down on your back on a plain surface, keep your feet together, and place your arm beside your body. As you can see it from the image number 1, that you have to lie down on your back on a plain surface, keeping the feet together and keeping your hands beside the body. Take a deep breath. When you exhale, bring your knees towards your chest. At the same time, press your thighs on your abdomen. So, what you have to do next is, in figure number 2 and 3, it is shown that raise up your legs and then press your thighs towards your abdomen, and you have to press them tightly. Clasp your hands around the legs, and then you can see in image number 4 that you have to clasp your hands around the knees. Every time you inhale, ensure that you loosen the grip. So whenever you are trying to inhale, just try and loosen the grip so that it will be easier for you to inhale properly. Exhale and release the pose after you rock and roll from side to side about 3 times. So what you have to do is, you have to exhale and release the pose after doing a rock and roll from side to side for about 3 times. Now, as you can see, I have also shown you these two images out here in which the Pavan Mukt Asana is done in a different way. You can even do it with a single knee if you want to do. In the starting, you can do it with a single knee, or if you are comfortable, you can do it both the knees together. The benefits and contraindications are: benefit number 1, it eases the tension in lower back. It enhances the blood circulation in pelvic region. It helps in reducing the fats of thighs, buttock and abdominal area. It strengthens the abdominal muscles. It also massages the intestines and organs of the digestive system, which helps in releasing the gas and thus improves digestion. It also relieves constipation. So, from the benefits, we can come to know that it actually helps in improving our digestive system in a proper way. It also helps in reducing the fat from thighs, buttocks, and the abdominal region. Why? Because when we stretch and we put strain on those particular areas, the fat reduction will be there. It also enhances the blood circulation in the pelvic area, because this area is actually engaged while doing this asana. Now, the contraindications. The first is, if you are suffering from heart problems, hyperacidity, high blood pressure, slip disc and hernia, you should avoid this asana. If you have any of these problems, you must not perform this asana. Pregnant women should avoid doing this asana. If you have had an abdominal surgery recently, you should avoid performing this asana. If you had any kind of surgery which is related to your abdomen, which is done recently in times, so you should not perform this asana. Individuals suffering from piles should avoid this asana. The next asana is Ardha Matsendra Asana. This asana was also used to prevent and cure obesity. Now, the procedure of this asana is, the left heel is kept under the right thigh and right leg is crossed over the left thigh. This is the posture you can see in image number 3. But for starting, or the initial position of this asana is the first one, which you can see there, where you have to sit while bending your knees, and then you have to do these movement and come to the posture which is shown in figure number 3. After that, hold the right toe with left hand and turn your head and back to the right side. So what you have to do is, you have to hold your right toe with the help of your left hand and turn the torso and head towards your right side. In this position, move the trunk sideways, then perform the same asana in the reverse position. So after doing it at one side, you have to do in the other side as well, and you have to keep in mind the procedure of it. You have to perform it in this particular way as I've told you. Benefits are: it keeps gallbladder and prostate gland healthy, it enhances the stretchability of the back muscle, it elevates digestive ailments, it regulates the secretion of adrenaline and bile, and thus is recommended in yogic management of diabetes. It is also helpful in treating sinusitis, bronchitis, constipation, menstrual disorders, urinary tract disorders, and cervical spondylitis. The contraindications are: women who are 2 or 3 months pregnant should avoid this asana. The individuals who suffer from peptic ulcer, hernia, hypothyroidism should perform this asana only under expert guidance. So I have given you the definition as well. So it is also called underactive thyroid or low thyroid, and it is a disorder of the endocrine system in which the thyroid gland does not produce enough thyroid hormones. The third contraindication is the individuals who have the problem of sciatica and slip disc may benefit from this, but they need to take great care while doing this asana. So as we have already discussed it earlier also, that the people, those who have sciatica and slip disc, might have some benefits from this asana, but they need to do it with great care. So now we will be doing 3.4 asthma procedure, benefits and contraindications of the preventive measures. The definition of asthma is: so asthma is a disease of lungs in which the airways become blocked or narrowed, causing difficulty in breathing. Or you can also say that asthma is a long-term disease of the lungs. It causes your airway to get inflamed and narrow and makes breathing difficult. So I have given you a picture also where you can see there are two pictures of the airway. One is the normal one, another one is the inflamed one. So you can see that in the normal one it will be easier for you to respirate, but in the inflamed one, there the hole out there is full of mucus and it is narrow also, so it makes it very difficult for an individual to breathe properly. As we are talking about the mucus, here it is said that in asthma the airways also swell up, so they swell up and they produce extra mucus. It usually triggers coughing, wheezing, whistling, or shortness of breath. Now the asanas to prevent and cure asthma. The very first asana is Sukhasana. The procedure is: sit down with the legs straight in front of the body. So you have to sit while your legs will be all straight in front of you. After that, bend the right leg and place the foot under the left thigh. So you have to bend your right leg and place it under the right foot. The same you are going to do with the left leg. Also you have to bend it and then you have to put it under your right thigh. Place the hands on the knees. So you have to place both of your hands on the knees. Chin should be in, it should be tucked in. Keep the head, neck and back straight. Close the eyes, relax your body. So in this position you have to keep your head, the neck and back straight in a single alignment, and you have to close your eyes and relax the body. Now the benefits. The first benefit is it facilitates mental and physical balance without causing strain or pain. So this is a relaxative asana in which an individual can relax, and it also helps you in meditating concentrating and focusing also. So the mental and physical balance is facilitated. The next one is it stretches and lengthens the spine because we are sitting all straight. That is why it helps in stretches and lengthens the spine. It calms our mind. It enhances our peace of mind. So point number 3 and point number 4 are kind of same. Point number 5, it reduces anxiety, stress, and mental fatigue. Obviously, when an individual is in peace of mind, when an individual is relaxed, they feel less anxiety and stress and less mental fatigue also. It helps in improving body posture. It provides gentle massage to knee, calf muscles and thighs. It spreads the sense of calmness throughout your body and mind, as in this asana we are not only relaxing our mind but we are also relaxing the body. That is why it spreads a sense of calmness throughout the body. Contraindications are if your knees and hips are injured or inflamed, you should avoid this asana. If you have any injury in your hips or knees, one must not do this asana. If you have a slip disc problem, you should take proper care while performing this asana. So if you have any problem related to your spine, it might be slip disc or any other problem, you should perform this asana very carefully. Second asana is chakra asana. The procedure is, in this asana the figure of the body becomes like a chakra, therefore this is known as chakra asana. You can see it from the figure also that the body looks like a chakra when you come in the final position of the asana. That is why it is known as chakra asana. First of all, lie down on your back. So you can see from step number 1 that you have to lie down on your back all straight. Your legs and arms will be straight. Fix your hands firmly on the ground. In the next step, you have to fix your arms beside your ears near your shoulder. Then raise the middle portion of your body upward. Then what you have to do, you have to raise the middle portion of your body. Raise it as high as possible so that your body is in semi-circle position. So using your strength of hand and legs, you have to raise your middle portion of the body as high as possible so that your final position looks like a semi-circle. Then keep your head downward between the hands. You don't have to look upward. You have to just fall off your head downward. It will be staying between the hands. In the beginning, keep this position for 1 minute and then after some days, do it for 3 to 5 minutes. So in the starting, you can just try and do it for 1 minute, and as you get used to it and your body get used to it, the strength of the body increases, and after some time you can do it for 3 to 5 minutes also. Next are the benefits. It cures back pain. It cures any pain in kidney. It is helpful in removing obesity. It prevents the problem of hernia. It stimulates pituitary and thyroid glands. It cures for infertility, asthma and osteoporosis. It gives relief from stress and reduces depression. The semicircular position makes the dorsal side of the body to stretch, making the chest expand. Thus, more fresh oxygen is made available. Now, the contraindication: if you suffer from headache, high blood pressure, you should not perform this asana. Don't perform this asana in the case of shoulder impingement. Do not perform this asana if you have tendinitis in the wrist. Individuals who suffer from serious spinal column ailments such as cervical and lumbar spondylitis should also avoid this asana. Third is Gomukhasana. Procedure is, sit down on the ground with legs stretched forward. So you have to sit on the ground and the legs will be stretched in front of you. Now fold the left leg at the knee and sit on the left foot. Now what you have to do is you have to fold your left leg and try to sit on the left foot itself. Next is fold the right leg and keep the right thigh on the left thigh with the help of your hands. Now what you have to do is, while performing it, obviously you are sitting on the left foot. Now you have to fold your right leg from the knee and then put your right thigh on the left thigh with the help of your hands. Now lift your buttocks and bring the heels of both the feet together. Now you have to adjust it. You have to bring both the feet together so that they should touch each other. So you have to adjust the body. You have to lift the buttocks, adjusting the body so that both the feet come together and they touch each other. Now fold your left arm behind your back over the shoulder. So you can do it with either of the hand. It might be left or right, from whichever side you want to start. So fold your left arm behind the back over the shoulder and fold the right arm behind the back under the right shoulder. So both the hands will be going on the other way. Like for the left arm, you can make it all open in the high, as you can see it in the step number 6 there. Left hand upward, fully stretch, and then bend it behind the back, and the right hand will be going under the right shoulder. After that, bend your fingers of both the hands and clasp each other. If it is easier and you are that much flexible, please do clasp the fingers with each other. At this time, your head and back should be erect. The back and head should be straight. Don't bend your back or your head. Then repeat the same in the reverse position. If you have started from left side, then the next time you have to do it from the right side, or if you have started from right side, then try and do it from the left side also. It will be a fine thing if both of your hand doesn't clasp with each other. It's okay. It depends on the flexibility of an individual. Now the benefits, it makes the leg muscle strong and elastic. Obviously you are sitting in a position, that is why it is making them more strong and elastic. The flexibility is increased. It helps in keeping the shoulder joints healthy, flexible and strong. The same thing, the posture in which we are into, it makes our shoulders healthy, flexible and strong. It improves the function of the lungs. Regular practice of this asana helps in treating the sciatica. It improves the function of kidneys by stimulating it, thus helps the individual who suffer from diabetes. It also helps in diabetes as well, so you have to keep this thing in mind also. It also reduces stress and anxiety. It helps in staying fit and strong. The contraindications are the individuals who suffer from shoulder, knee, back pain should avoid this. So those who all have any problem related to their shoulders, knee or back, they should not perform this asana. To avoid, if you have any kind of knee injury, this is what we have already done in contradiction number 1 also. So again you have to avoid this asana. In the third, if you have any case of recent or chronic knee or hip injury, like if you have a very recent knee or hip injury, or you have a chronic pain, or you have a pain in knee or hip for a longer period of time, then please avoid this asana. The next asana is your Parvatasana. The procedure is sit in Padmasana or lotus pose. This asana we have already done when we were doing Sukhasana, so you can write it from there also. Stretch your arms sideways and bring them over your head slowly. So what you have to do is just stretch your arm sideways, stretch them, and then bring both the hands together over your head slowly. After that, let your palm touch each other. So join your hands. Then stretch your hands well without bending the elbows. So you don't have to bend the elbows. You have to bring your hands upward and stretching them all straight and touching the palm. This will be your position. Keep your spine straight. So the neck, head and shoulders and the spine, the back will be all straight while performing this asana. The benefits are it helps in enhancing height as you are doing it while you are pushing yourself upwards. It reduces the extra fat in the back and waist. It helps you in eliminating the extra fat. It tones the abdominal muscle and thus stimulates the organ of abdominal region. So it also helps the digestive system and other organs in the abdominal region. It is extremely beneficial in case of asthma. It is good in asthma. As you stretch it up, the lungs also stretches and the lungs also get more and more space. They are expanded and it will be easier for an individual to respirate in a proper way. It helps in reducing back pain. It improves the function of spinal cord. It gives relief from tension in shoulder and back. The contraindications are avoid this asana in case of hip or back injury, because if you have any kind of hip injury, you would not be able to sit for a longer period of time. Same goes with the back injury also. One should not perform this asana in case of shoulder injury. If you have shoulder injury also, you should not perform this asana. The next asana is Bhujangasana. We have already done this asana. So the procedure of this asana is, in this asana, the shape of the body remains like a snake. That is why it is called Bhujangasana. So again, I am telling you that the image from here you can see it, that the final position of this asana, the individual looks like a have this pose of a snake. That is why it is known as Bhujangasana. In order to perform this asana, lie down on the belly on the ground. Keep your hands near the shoulder. Keep your legs close together. Now straighten your arms slowly. Raise the chest. Your head should be backward. Keep this position for some time. Then come to the formal position. For good results, perform this asana 3 to 5 times. So what you have to do is, initially you have to lie down all straight on your belly. Then keep your hands near the shoulder and do it in a very proper way, because the hands are going to provide you support while doing this asana. So they should be in a very balanced and a stable position, in a controlled position. Keep your legs close to each other. So keep both the legs close to each other. Now straighten the arms. So you have to straighten the arms from the elbow. The elbow should not bend, and while straightening the arms, the chest will raise. Your head should be backward. You have to look upward, means the head will be going backward and you will be watching the sky or the roof. So this is how you are going to perform Bhujangasana. Benefits: it elevates obesity, it provides strength and agility, it gives relief from disorders of the urinary bladder, it controls diseases of liver, it improves blood circulation, it makes vertebral column flexible and thin, it cures gas disorders, constipation and indigestion, it strengthens the muscle of hands. So we can see that while performing this asana, there are several benefits which helps in enhancing our digestive system properly. It also helps in eliminating the extra body fat from the body. It improves the blood circulation as all the muscles are stretched properly while performing this asana. Our vertebral column is also stretched, and that is why there is more flexibility in it. It also strengthens the muscle of hands as you are getting the support from the hands only, and that is why the strength of the hands is improved. The contraindications are, this asana should be avoided by people who suffer from hernia, back injuries, headaches, and recent abdominal surgeries. Pregnant women should not perform this asana. The next asana is Paschimottanasana. The procedure is, sit on the ground with legs forward, then hold the toes of your feet with the fingers of both the hands. Then breathe out slowly and try to touch the knee with your forehead. After that, breathe in slowly, raise your head upward and come to the prior position. Perform this asana at least 10 to 12 times. So, in Paschimottanasana, you have to sit on the ground with legs forward, as you can see from image number 1. Then you have to bend forward and hold your toes of your feet with the fingers of your hand. And then breathe out slowly, exhale and try to touch your forehead with your knees and keep the knees all straight. If you're not able to do that, still don't bend your knees. While inhaling, so you have to breathe in slowly and then raise your hand upward and come to the initial position. And you can do or perform this asana for 10 to 12 minutes times. Benefits: it cures gas trouble, it prevents the early ossification of bones, it is a good remedy for constipation, it helps to overcome several menstrual disorders, it gives relief in sciatica, back pain and asthma, it reduces obesity, it is helpful in all abdominal disorders, it is helpful in removing skin disease, the vertebra becomes flexible and healthy. So we have already discussed the benefits earlier. I am not discussing it right now. The contraindications are: if you are suffering from enlarged liver or spleen or acute appendicitis, you should never do this asana. Avoid doing this asana if you suffer from respiratory diseases. If you have any back or spinal problem, make sure that you perform this asana only under the expert guidance. The next asana is Matsyasana. For performing this asana, sit on the Padmasana. So you know how to sit on the Padmasana position. So you have to sit in Padmasana position first. Then lie down in spine position. So now what you have to do, you have to go backward and lie down on your supine position over the back, on your back, and make an arc behind. Now what you have to do is you have to try and raise the middle area of your back, and you have to take the support of your hips and the shoulders and your head. Hold your toes with the fingers. The next is you have to hold the toes with the fingers of your hand and stay for some time in this position. So for a better understanding, I'll tell you, as you can see in view 1 and view 2, after coming in the Padmasana position, what you have to do is you have to go backward, lie down on your back properly first, and then try and raise your back and make a arc. And while making a arc, you have to take support from your head as well as your hip portion, and rest of the upper torso will be above from the ground level. It will not touch the ground while making it a arc. And what you have to do is you have to hold your toes, fingers with your hands, and stay in this position for some time. You can try it at home also. The benefits are: it is helpful in curing back pain, knee pain and tonsillitis. So tonsillitis is the inflammation at the back of your throat, and it is normally caused by the viral infection but can be from bacterial infection also. It also cures the defects of eyes. Skin diseases can be cured if we practice this asana regularly. This asana is helpful in the treatment of diabetes as well. It helps in relieving tension in the neck and shoulders. It provides relief from respiratory disorder by encouraging deep breathing. So while performing this asana, you have to take deep breaths. That is why it helps you in having an enhancement in your respiratory system. It improves your posture. It is the best asana to get relief from asthma. Contraindications are: avoid doing this asana if you have high or low blood pressure, people suffering from migraine and insomnia. Insomnia is a disease in which person do not get sleep properly, should also refrain from performing this asana. The individuals who have neck injury or lower back problems should not perform this asana. So now the homework for this lecture. Question number 1, define asthma. Question number 2, explain the procedure of Parvatasana. Question number 3, explain the procedure and benefits of any one asana to prevent diabetes. Question number 4, write down the benefits and contraindication of Matsya asana. Now we are going to discuss the answers of the questions from lecture number 2. Question number 1 was explain diabetes. So, it is a disease in which the ability of body to produce or respond to insulin hormone is impaired. That is known as diabetes. Question number 2, explain the procedure of Trikona Asana. So, the procedure of Trikona Asana is, first of all, stand with legs apart, then raise the arms sideways up to the shoulder level, bend the trunk sideways and raise the right hand upward. Touch the ground with the left hand behind the left foot. After some time, do the same asana with the opposite arm in the same way. Question number 3 was, explain the benefits and contraindications of Paschimottanasana. Answer is, benefits of Paschimottanasana are, it elevates gas trouble, it prevents the early ossification of bones, it is a good remedy for constipation, it helps to overcome several menstrual disorders, it gives relief in sciatica, backache and asthma, it reduces obesity, it is helpful in treating abdominal diseases, the vertebra become flexible and healthy. The contraindications are, if you are suffering from enlarged liver or spleen or acute appendicitis, you should never do this asana. Avoid doing this asana if you suffer from any respiratory disease. Third is, if you have any back or spinal problem, make sure that you perform this asana only under expert guidance.